I just did a video on Tavis Sellers and his quote-unquote supposed abuse of his 17-year-old son, which was a goddamn lie. And I decided to do a little research on Mr. Sellers because I couldn't understand why this particular situation garnered so much attention to the point that when Child Protective Services first came out to his home, they did an investigation, then left. Child was still in the home, no problem with the father. They later came back and charged the father with domestic abuse and removed the child. Apparently they did some research before they came back to go after this man. And in my opinion, the reason that they did this was because this man basically is a good father, and he has stood up against the bullshit myth that black fathers are absent from the homes of their children. Now, here's a video that was done, and it was substantiated by the CDC, which is a government agency for all of you people who believe that the government doesn't have information that should be widely disseminated as far as myths. Here's the video. Okay, so you saw the video, you saw the stats for yourselves. I invite you to do your own research regarding this subject. But the next time you hear about something that a black child does, don't be so quick to say where or was the black father. Number one, black males in particular are under assault by this country. As you saw for yourself, there are over 600,000 black men of marrying age that are incarcerated. So this obviously knocks down numbers. That also doesn't take into account the large number of black men that have been killed before and during their greatest years of reproduction, okay? Now, you can also take into account the large rise in the number of men who have turned the other way, i.e., went gay. That also knocks numbers down. What also would knock numbers down is the number of women who have turned the other way and become part of the LGBTQ community. So our numbers are coming down, but this video specifically is in regard to black men, and in particular black men who are fathers. Now, obviously, I don't know every single black male in the United States, okay? So I can only speak to my own experiences. And I will tell you that most black men that I know and have come into contact with absolutely want to play a role in the lives of their children, okay? Now, there was a story that was done, and I believe it goes back about a year, where a black man had fathered a child, decided that the woman wasn't someone that he wanted to be with, okay, and he was not married to her. She in turn had the child, and the man went into court immediately, and signed up for child support. This man faithfully paid his child support for years, never missing a beat. At the same time, as soon as the child was of sufficient age, he exercised his visitation rights and took his son with him damn near every weekend. He developed a bond with his son. The mother of his child, for whatever reason, and I'm not going to go into that, I made my comments on a video previously, decided that she did not want the father to be as involved in his son's life as he was. So she decides to go to court to restrict his child visiting privileges. She did this over several years to the point that the court, for whatever stupid reason, decided to restrict his visiting privileges to once a month. Well, how the hell does a father stay in his child's life if he goes from having his son every weekend, and that's what he had his son every weekend, to having to visit his child once per month? Well, this worked on the father so much that the father ended up committing suicide because of his inability to be with his son. And then his dumbass, the dumbass mother of his child gets on mainstream media and says how good of a man he was, and that he should not have done what he did. Well, she was right that he shouldn't have done what he did. He should have fought that woman tooth and nail and demonstrated his love for his child in every way possible. So again, black fathers, we are in the lives of our children. Don't let any of these right-wing, mainstream, or whoever else media types quote that bullshit line about black fathers not being in the lives of their children, because we absolutely are.